Death Stranding has personality, like an album with a clear and cohesive sound. Let's take a look at some interesting art choices that make this game stand out as a unique brand of cosmic horror. This world is stark, devoid of life, but rich in character. Let's start with the most obvious. Every game has a color palette, and this one is blue. Cold hues creep into nearly every frame. Even the earth tones, the browns, the greens, drift to the cooler end of the range. To illustrate this, I've taken the dominant color from many different frames across my gameplay footage. What you're looking at is the color palette of Death Stranding. I like it, I think it's really pretty. Right away, you'll notice the number of blues, grays, and cool greens. We do have some brown in here, but take a closer look. When we graph it on a color picker, you can see just how much blue is still hiding in there. Why does this matter, though? Well, cool palettes give a certain impression to the viewer. We associate blue with the cold. Cold ice, cold water, cold winter days. And when the deep brown leaves fall to the ground, the dominant colors we see are white, gray, and blue. Winter is beautiful in its own way, of course, but it's also dangerous. It's oppressive. And it's one of the reasons we associate this wintry palette with a hostile environment. Let's do a little test with this frame I took from my gameplay footage. It's easy to see how much blue we have in this image, but it's also charted over here in our color scopes. Let's take that down and add in some more reds. Now, I'm no colorist, so bear with me, but check it out. This feels much more relaxed. It's like we sanded down the edges. The thing is, this isn't what the game looks like. It looks like this. Death Stranding, literally and figuratively, has the blues. The artist chose a narrow color palette that would give it a cold character. And this was a conscious choice. Frankly, there are many other situations where this heavy-handed approach just wouldn't work, but considering the dark apocalyptic setting, I think it really pays off here. That physical setting is the player's main enemy in Death Stranding. The BTs, the other humans, don't even come close. The designers wanted the landscape itself to intimidate the player. As you walk, steep cliffs tumble into deep ravines. Sharp rocks litter the path. Imposing mountains dare you to try.
Are you sure about
and
that?
Deep rivers stop you in your tracks. It's a world that never lets you get comfortable. Vast open spaces make you feel exposed and small. Finding natural shelter from the rain is almost impossible, and even when you do, well, the clouds won't stop on your account. It's not actively hostile, more inhospitable. The land simply doesn't care about your life, and I like that. But a harsh aesthetic isn't always about what you put into the world. Sometimes it's about what you remove. One of the first things you'll notice when you venture out is how lifeless it is. No plants, no animals, not a single living thing. The quiet makes you feel truly alone. As you trudge along, you realize the only thing that survived the cataclysm was humanity. And sure enough, thrusting defiantly out of this mess are humanity's middle fingers, utilitarian structures designed to rebuild the world. I cannot get over how brilliant the contrast is. This industrial, almost brutalist architecture set into the tundra biome. If you look at early concept art, you can see that this was the vision from the very beginning. It's bold and it's functional, but the design represents something lost. A sense of culture and expression, a colorful existence. Humanity has been reduced down to its fundamental parts as it claws for survival. We have this brilliant technology, but we've lost so much of what it means to be human. With all that clawing, all that adaptation, we still never conquer the land in this world. We build over it, around it, but never through it. We can't dominate it. Our structures rust and crumble in the rain. The monuments we created reduce to husks and broken corpses. Each step forward brings us closer to the inevitable end, but still we press on. Existential horrors lurking all around. Throughout the game, we find ourselves here, on the beach. Purgatory between life and death. familiar land on one side, and a black sea on the other. The monochrome palette speaks to the unknown, the unexplored. Tendrils reach out, ready to pull us to the afterlife. But the dark water doesn't give us any hints about what awaits us on the other side. Even here, as close as we can get without crossing over, we're still clueless, staring out at this morbid ocean, trying to wrap our heads around the threat. By the time we understand, it's too late. And that's what's so harsh about this aesthetic. It's a rebuke of the human spirit. You can strive, you can build, you can rage against the dying of the light, but that light will die. The art direction wants you to feel the futility in fighting it. How will you respond when all your structures collapse and all your enemies are replaced? When you know oblivion is all that lies on the horizon, will you find resolve and walk forward? There are many different ways you can look at Death Stranding, and I wanted to focus on some of the darker themes that stuck out to me. But it is worth mentioning that the game as a whole has a more hopeful overall message than what I present here. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit the like button, give me that little algorithm boost, and subscribe if you want to stick around for more content. Thanks for watching.